This is Meri at TheMeriAtelier, and this is the third part of a series where I am creating my April art journal cover. It has a picture of Shakespeare on the front, and then this area that was inspired by the Shakespeare Globe Theater dates. I'm really happy with this. This is not glued down yet. I got this from Dee Dee Willingham. Yay. But what I want to do, I'm going to experiment. I was thinking that I could put a galaxy in here, but this is my top line right here, and that does not leave me much sky in here. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I want a little bit more color on this page. I might make it red. I might make it a maroon color or a dark, well, I don't think dark green, because dark green is not giving me the color that I want. I want the pop of color. I'm not sure exactly, but what I have here, this is some homemade modeling paste. I got the recipe from Topaz Pearl, Julie. And I'm going to experiment with, I want to get some texture in these little silhouettes. Now this is white, so after I put it on, I'm going to let it dry, hopefully let it dry, and then come back and paint them again. I've never painted with modeling paste, so we'll see how this goes. It seems to work. That we'll see if it keeps the shapes as I want, if these really look like the animals that they're supposed to be. But I imagine after I paint them, I'm hoping that they go back to, after I paint them black again, hoping that they go back to looking like the animals that they're supposed to be. Like what I'm working on right now is the elephant. So I'm just going to continue working on that. At this point, I will probably go into fast forward, because you don't need to see, you know what I'm doing, you know the process here. So basically all I'm doing is texturizing all these little silhouettes. I want them to have a little bit of texture when I run my hand over them when they're dry. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to go into fast forward and we'll look at it when I come back. What I'm doing here is using a paintbrush to paint modeling paste on each one of these little silhouettes. And the idea is to add some texture to them and a little bit of dimension. Now this is a homemade modeling paste that I got the recipe from Topaz Pearl Julie, and yeah, I'm liking it. It's working for me. The recipe is 1 part acrylic, 1 part baby powder, and 2 parts Mod Podge. And that makes it thin enough, I think, to paint with. I am going to paint the top part of these arches. I can't get the galaxy in there because there's not enough room, but this page just needs some more color up there. I'm using a mixture of a red tone, a dark blue tone, and a dark green tone. And I'm hoping that my little silhouettes, when I get them painted, will not fade too much into the background. I'm a little bit unsure of that. I'm really at this point just experimenting to see what's going to happen here. Painting around my little silhouettes, making them pop out a little bit more. And then it hit me. I need gold. I need gold. So I get out my DecoArt's metallic gold and start painting that same background. And well, I decided to go ahead and finish the
darker color and use it as an undercoat, but look what that gold did. Yeah, really happy with that. So I decided to go ahead and paint the bottom arches and the floral a gold color. Now it's starting to take shape for me. Now I'm getting inspired. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm wanting to do. I'm just painting in all those little floral pieces down at the bottom and coordinating that gold up at the top with the bottom. Very happy with this. Very, very, very happy with how this is turning out for me. So now I'm drying it off just a little bit. I use the top and bottom of my canvas as a palette. You see I swished out my paint there. I get out my black fine line paint applicator, and all of those little silhouettes that I coated with modeling paste, I am going back over them now with my black craft paint in my fine line paint applicator. I have a lot of trouble with my fine line applicators, and it's not the fine line applicator, it is the paint. I'm using old paint. Do not use old craft paint in a fine line paint applicator. Try to use a new fresh bottle if you can, because that old paint gets clumpy and gumpy and gluey, and it plugs up the nozzle, and it can get very frustrating. But I work through it to a certain point. I'm really happy with how it's turning out at this point. And so this is about as far as I get. I do a little on the bottom, but I'll have to finish this in the next video, part 4. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching it so far, and I will see you on the next page.